way I walk is just the way I walk. Way I talk is just the way I talk. Way I smile is just the way I smile. Well, touch me, baby, and you know I'm going Honolulu.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today, I've got another ride scheduled for tomorrow, and it's not going to be a very long ride, I don't think, but it's a multi-part ride by the sounds of it. I do intend to take the Goldwing once again, but something that I noticed last week after I put all the brakes together, bled everything out, taking it on the trip to Stanford and coming back, plus like 2 days after that, I rode it to work for the day and back, and I noticed the smell. It wasn't coolant smell. I mentioned it somewhere else, and so it smells like a burnt corn syrup. I don't know, maybe my visual and my, what's it called, oral factory? I don't remember, but somebody said, oh, you're probably smelling coolant. I know the coolant smell, this ain't it, but let me show you what this fluid looks like. So I don't know if you can tell the color of that through, because it's kind of dark, but it is not supposed to look like this in the least bit. So I ordered parts for the slave cylinder and a master cylinder rebuild. All the parts for the slave cylinder came in yesterday, and the master cylinder is supposed to ship on Monday. So I'm going to do the slave cylinder now. That way it'll be ready for the ride tomorrow. At least halfway ready for the ride tomorrow. Let's get to it. Good morning. So yesterday I ran into some problems. I got this thing mostly clean. There's still some discoloration from corrosion, but it's very smooth in there despite that. So we're going to count that as a win. The problem I had yesterday was when I went to put this back in, it got stuck halfway in. So I had to grease it out again this morning. I tried to use the air compressor, but it just wasn't enough pressure. Ended up greasing it out. Just got it all cleaned out. I had to run to the auto parts store because I ran a carb cleaner this morning. So I'm still trying to make that ride. I need to leave in like an hour and a half. I'm going to make it in time. So I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. We'll see. Let's get it going.
Later.
All right, quick update. I have a knack for taking a 2-hour job and turning it into a multiple day, multiple hour job, but we got it finished. I had a real hard time getting this clutch to start bleeding, but finally, I bought a Mighty Vac last week for the brakes. Ended up not liking it. I was going to return it. I was too lazy to return it all week, and I'm glad I didn't, because I took the time to figure out how to get that line airtight. So we used the Mighty Vac to get that thing going, and now I took it for a test ride, and it's like a whole different world with this clutch. But we're going to head down, meet some people, and we'll see you on the road.
All right, man, I'm going to tell you what. This being the first time that I've had a hydraulic clutch, this is my first experience with one. So I didn't know the way the clutch was before I rebuilt that slave cylinder. I didn't know if that was how it normally felt or if it was a little rough or what. But now that I've rebuilt it, and I've taken this thing on a test ride, now that I'm out on the road a little bit, holy cow, it's so much more responsive. I freaking love it, man. Obviously, with doing my own maintenance, once again, never know how it's going to turn out. I always get worried when, like I forgot a step or something, you know. We're going to trust that I got everything done correctly since the clutch seems to be working fine. And, yeah, just hope it lasts all day. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a like, a comment, hit the bell if you want. Up to you. I love making these videos. I like interacting with the little bit of the community that I have. I appreciate everyone coming along so far. So today I'm meeting up with some folks. I guess they go on a ride every Sunday, and the idea was to meet downtown or in Ybor City around 9:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, and then ride out east a little bit to this little bar they've been going to, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You know, I started this project with this slave cylinder yesterday, didn't get it finished. We went to dinner. I was kind of frustrated with it, and then I thought this morning if I get up and get started by 7 o'clock, I'd have it done by 9 and be able to get out of there. Well, that's what happens when you make plans. So that didn't quite work out. So now it's 11 something. I just sent the guy Devin that I'm riding out to meet some of his friends. Just let him know I was on my way. He said, "How long do you think?" And according to maps, it's going to take me an hour to get there. Well, 50 minutes. We're going to call that an hour. I said, "Hey, I can meet you somewhere else if you guys want to take off." I didn't hear back, so maybe somewhere along the way I get a message that I should be going somewhere else. But in the meantime, we're going to head out to that bar Tony's somewhere, some country road somewhere. So, yeah. Man, this motorcycle goes through the gears so much more smoothly now that it's not confused about what the clutch should be doing. I don't 100% know what the slave cylinder does. I'm pretty sure, somebody can correct me in the comments, please, but just thinking about watching that piston move back and forth and knowing that there's a hydraulic line between the master and the slave, what I'm imagining is that when you push the clutch, the hydraulic fluid hits the slave, pulls the rod back, disengaging the clutch from the motor. I could be completely wrong on how that works since it's not a mechanical clutch. I'm assuming the hydraulic clutch is just to assist and make it easier to pull that back, to make all the clutch engagement and disengagement work. With all the gunk that was on the original slave cylinder that I pulled off, and it being essentially frozen in place, clearly that whole process was not allowed to function the way it's supposed to. So now with a new rebuild, cleaned out corrosion, greased up a little bit, I'm assuming everything's just going to be a lot better. So yeah, let's sit back and enjoy the ride a little bit. Out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, met up AJ. Some of y'all know him, some of you don't. There's Devin over there.
Nobody knows him.
Nobody knows me. I'm nobody.
A secret.
I think Devin's old lady is hiding in the shade back there, but as soon as I got here, we're gonna smoke up and leave. So yeah, we'll see you on the road again. All right, off we go. We've got to take his old lady somewhere in Plant City, and then we're going to head to River's Edge, which is a place that I've kind of wanted to go for the last few years, but I've never been. So this will be the opportunity. My wife doesn't ride with me. Sometimes I really wish she would. I mean, the suspension on this thing isn't all that great, so it wouldn't be a very comfortable ride for her right now until I get that fixed. Plus, she's got the grandson a lot more than I do. But she is going to meet us up there, which is really cool because I get out of the house a lot more than she does, I feel like. And maybe that's not fair, you know. But she never really conveys any interest in getting out. So I like to invite her when I can. She usually declines, but this time she said, "Yep, I'll meet you out there." So we're going to meet around 2 o'clock. I considered bringing my Royal Enfield all the way out here, and it was about a 50-minute ride. I'm really glad I didn't. Like I keep saying, that Royal Enfield is a real hoot. It's my favorite motorcycle around town. I love, you know, dipping in and out of traffic, heading down to the bar or whatever. Heading down the freeway at 75, 80 miles an hour for 45 minutes. Nah, I'll pass on that any day of the week. I know a lot of my vlog is B-roll. I don't really talk a whole lot while I'm riding. I think it really detracts from me taking in the scenery. Even though I am recording, so I've got to put some focus on that, and I appreciate you sticking around for it. The focus of riding for me is enjoying this, man. There's nothing, gosh, when you're in a car, I mean, you know how it is if you ride. When you're in a car, you just, yeah, you see everything, but on a motorcycle, you're in everything. A little bit of breeze, you can smell all the smells. And this time of year, man, it's like 75 degrees outside, 76 something, I don't know. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful, blows my mind. Man, I'm just enjoying the country music coming through here. Not gonna lie, man. I like all kinds of music, country and western. Rock and roll, heavy metal, jazz, big band, bluegrass, some hip hop. I just like music, man. Whatever has a good beat or a bass line, I'm there for it. But sometimes there's songs that just come on that I'm like, ah. Thankfully, I learned some of the voice commands. But one of my least favorite artists, I want to see if we can get Siri to never play him again. Hey Siri, never play anything by Toby Keith ever again.
Okay, I'll remember that you don't like Toby Keith.
Oh, yeah, awesome. That was the first try. I honestly thought I was going to have to attempt a few different voice commands, and there she was, boy. She is on it. Sometimes artificial intelligence has me like, what the fuck are you doing? But other times, it's amazing. All right, I think we're getting close, man. I can almost smell it. Cold beers and trailer parks. That's what I'm talking about. It's right up my alley. If you live in a trailer, don't mind me, man. I came up in trailers. All right, River's Edge. I don't see any motorcycles. It's supposed to be a biker bar, man. Come on. Ah, there they are. Hell yeah. Smells like fried food, bad decisions, and cold beer, man. I feel like this is one of those places where I should be wearing a bandana and a leather vest. All right, let's do it to it. What? You did? When? Right now? Fuck, dude. I got stung by a bee. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? We'll get some closer up shots of that, but man, that's gorgeous.
I want to tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you want to be for the best? If I back my stuff, I get sooner than this. Don't you think you want to be for the best? If I back my stuff, I get sooner than this. Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I want to feel your gap without making a mess at you. I want you to tell me something new. I want to tell you something new.
Alright, so this was my first time out here at this place. I had a great freaking time. We were here about 5 hours, and it was beautiful. I needed that. A little time in the shade, some beers, some rockabilly. So we're going to head over to Devin's house, have a couple more beers, and then call it a night. So I appreciate you coming along. And until next time, we'll see you later.
I'm saying things I don't believe.